Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking something we all go through, a truly universal human experience. We're talking about resilience and this fascinating concept called the architecture of choice. Because look, we all know life loves to throw unexpected curveballs our way. Sometimes it honestly feels like you're caught in the middle of a completely unpredictable storm. But how we actually navigate that weather, well, that's an entirely different story. And the best part? It's a story we actually get to write ourselves.
Right off the bat, there's this profoundly powerful piece of wisdom from our source material today that I just absolutely love. It says, you are not in control of how life unfolds, but you are in control of how you fold or unfold when life happens. Just let that sink in for a second. It draws this really sharp, distinct line between the crazy external circumstances we face out in the world and our own internal, personal response to them. It literally captures the absolute essence of what personal agency actually looks like when everything else feels totally chaotic.
Section 1. The illusion of control and accepting life's unpredictability.
So, we all love to think we're the master architects of our destiny, right? But let's be real for a minute. It's a wild world out there. We're talking about natural disasters, sudden shifts in your personal health, a completely tanking economy, or honestly, just the totally baffling actions of other people. Opportunities can just vanish in a heartbeat. Life basically operates completely independently of our meticulously laid out plans. And looking at all these factors at once, well, it can feel incredibly overwhelming, especially for those of us who really like having a plan.
But here is the paradox. Acknowledging all of this chaos is actually super empowering. Accepting our total lack of control isn't a form of surrender at all. Actually, it's a highly realistic foundation for living your life. Think about it. When we finally let go of trying to micromanage the entire universe, we instantly free ourselves from that crushing burden of self-blame that inevitably bubbles up when our plans inevitably go off track. You didn't fail, life just happened.
Section 2. The architecture of choice and discovering your inner agency.
So if we strip away this whole illusion of control over the outside world, where exactly does that leave us? Well, it prompts a pretty pivotal question, and it's one we really need to sit with. If we can't control the storm, what can we actually control? If the economy totally crashes tomorrow, or you get sudden terrible news, what power do you really hold in your own hands in that exact moment?
Section 3. The trap of folding and the passive reaction.
When sudden adversity hits, our source material breaks our reaction down into two totally distinct paths. The first path is what they call folding. To fold is to shrink, to just give up, or to be completely defeated by your circumstances. It's allowing fear to just paralyze you. In this reactive passive stance, a totally external setback dictates your entire internal identity, and you just succumb to despair. You essentially go from being the driver to just being a passenger in your own life.
Let's look at a really concrete, everyday example: losing a job. It's massive, it's incredibly stressful, and most of the time, it's completely out of your control. Now, if you fold, that downward spiral starts with internalizing the event. You start to see yourself as a total failure. Out of shame or sadness, you might start withdrawing from your community and your friends. And ultimately, you just stop looking for a new position entirely. You've shrunk down and literally let the circumstance defeat you.
Section 4. The power of unfolding and the active response.
Now, what's really interesting here is that right alongside that trap is our second path. This is how we take our agency back. Unfolding is the exact opposite of shrinking. It means growing, adapting, and expanding in the very face of those exact same challenges. Instead of giving in to paralyzing fear, you deliberately leverage your inner strength. You actively choose to maintain your integrity and your core values, seeing a huge setback not as the end of the road, but as a blank canvas or a brand new direction to explore.
So let's apply this mindset to that exact same job loss from earlier. The unfolding path looks incredibly different. First off, you view the loss as a chance to reevaluate. You might ask yourself, hey, was I even happy working there anyway? You use the newfound free time to actually build some new skills, and you proactively seek out new possibilities. The external storm, the job loss, is identical. But your internal response totally transforms it into this powerful engine for genuine personal growth.
When we put these two mindsets side by side, the contrast is honestly stark. Folding is this passive, victim stance rooted entirely in despair. Unfolding, on the other hand, is an active, purposeful leveraging of your inner strength. This makes something abundantly clear. The external event, it's literally just the trigger. The internal path you choose to walk down is the real journey. Your response is what ultimately dictates your long-term outcome. No question about it.
Section 5. Mastering your response and building real resilience.
So how do we actually use this whole conceptual framework in our day-to-day lives to find real meaning, regardless of the challenges we face? Well, the source text boils it all down to 3 core pillars of personal power. And these remain 100% yours, no matter what happens in the daily news or the global economy. First up, your attitude. That's how you consciously choose to frame the situation. Second, your choices, the specific, deliberate path you decide to walk down. And third, your actions, the literal, physical steps you take every day. By focusing our energy strictly on these 3 pillars, we stop wasting our sanity trying to control the totally uncontrollable.
We know life is going to happen. There are going to be unpredictable storms, unexpected joys, and deeply, deeply frustrating setbacks. You simply aren't in control of the weather. So the only real question left for you is this. The next time life happens, will you fold or will you unfold? Think about that as you go through your week. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep unfolding.